Hi, this tutorial is all about variables. A variable is a measurable factor, characteristic, or attribute of an individual or a system. So here are just some examples of variables. We could have shoe size, first name, the amount of change in your pocket, gender, race, number of books in backpack, religious affiliation, age, temperature, zip code. These would all be considered variables. These are either factors or their characteristics or their attributes of something or a combination of things, that being a system. When a cause and effect relationship is being explored between two variables, it is necessary to identify which is the explanatory variable and which is the response variable. So let's define both of those two terms, and then we'll look at some pairs of variables. Alright, the explanatory variable is the variable that causes an effect, sometimes called the independent variable. So the explanatory variable is what explains or causes some effect. Now the response variable is the variable that reflects the effect, sometimes called the dependent variable. So independent goes with explanatory, dependent goes with response. Okay, so now what we're going to do is look at a couple different pairs of variables and try to figure out which is the explanatory variable and which is the response variable. So the first pair I have here is lifetime and weekly cigarette consumption. Okay, so it's widely known that cigarettes do have a detrimental effect on lifespan. So cigarettes or cigarette consumption is going to cause a change or cause an effect in lifetime. So here my weekly cigarette consumption is the explanatory variable, lifetime is the response variable. So I'm going to use EXP for explanatory and RES for response. So again, cigarettes cause a change in lifetime or explain a change in lifetime. Alright, our next pair is daily high temperature and daily air conditioning energy consumption. So generally, as the temperature goes up, as it gets hotter and hotter, air conditioning consumption is going to go up. So what we're going to say here is that daily high temperature causes or explains a change in daily air conditioning energy consumption. So now we're going to call this one the explanatory variable, and we're going to call energy consumption due to air conditioning the response variable. Okay, our third pair, we have size and calories of fast food sandwiches. Okay, so if we think about the relationship between those two variables, the size of the sandwich and the number of calories, generally the larger the sandwich, if we're looking at a double quarter pounder, it's a very large sandwich, it's also going to be high in calories. So the size of the sandwich is going to explain a change in the calories. So here, size is explanatory, calories is the response variable. Okay, our fourth pair here, airfare and distance to destination. Now this probably doesn't have a really strong relationship, but in general, the further you need to fly, the costlier it's going to be. So if you're flying from California to Australia, it has a very far distance, and that's going to be a very expensive plane ride. So what I would say here is that the distance to the destination explains a change in airfare. And certainly there are going to be counter examples for each of these, but I would definitely say that airfare doesn't explain distance. Distance explains airfare. And our last pair here is latitude and average January temperature of U.S. cities. So latitude measures how far north or south you are on the globe. So we know that as the further you go north, the colder the temperature is going to be. So a change in latitude is going to change explain a change in the average January temperature of the U.S. cities. So what I would say here now is latitude is your explanatory variable, and temperature is going to be your response variable. So that is the tutorial about variables. Thanks for watching.